Today we're talking legs, lungs, and one man's refusal to quit. The film? 100 meters, released on 2025. Spanish sports biopic, but don't roll your eyes yet. This isn't just guy runs fast, wins medal. This is guy's body gives up, but his will doesn't. Based on the real story of Ramon Arroyo, a triathlete diagnosed with multiple sclerosis at 30. The race isn't 100 meters. It's every meter after. This film will sit with you long after credits roll. Ramon, played by Danny Rovira. 30 years old, sales rep, average dad, loves weekend football with his son. Life is normal. Then one morning, his leg drags. Pins and needles. Numbness. Doctor says 3 letters that change everything: MS. Multiple sclerosis. Nerves misfiring. Walking will get harder. Running? Forget it. His wife Inma, played by Alexandra Jimenez, goes into caretaker mode. His son Hugo stops asking dad to play. Everyone treats Ramon like glass. But Ramon hears one thing: you'll end up in a wheelchair. And that becomes his starting line. He doesn't accept it. He Googles. Finds a crazy man, a triathlete with MS who finished an Ironman. If he can do it, Ramon thinks, maybe I can at least run 100 meters. Just 100. So the training begins. Not Rocky montages. Real, painful, humiliating training. Legs that won't listen. Falls in the park. Neighbors staring. Doctor warning, you're damaging yourself. His own wife begging him to stop. Ramon versus his body, versus medical advice, versus everyone's pity. He sets small goals. Walk to the corner. Then to the lamppost. Then around the block. Each meter is a fight. He joins a running group. They're slow, but they're kind. He falls, gets up. Falls again. Midpoint twist, Ramon decides if he's going to suffer, he'll suffer big. He signs up for a triathlon. Swim, cycle, run. 226 kilometers total. People laugh. His doctor refuses to sign the medical form. Even his son says, "Dad, you'll die." But here's the heart: Ramon isn't trying to win. He's trying to prove that incurable doesn't mean unlivable. That MS can take his nerves, but not his identity. Race day. Camera doesn't glamorize it. You see him shivering in the swim, struggling on the bike, vomiting. And the last 100 meters of the run, that's the whole film. Legs wobbling, crowd cheering, his son running beside him for 10 meters. He doesn't break a world record. He breaks his own prison. Last shot, Ramon crossing the line, not fast, but standing. Hugo hugs his legs. Inma cries. And Ramon whispers, "We did it." Not "I did it." Because the film's message is clear: no one runs alone. Marcel Barrena directs this like a documentary that learned how to cry. He avoids glossy sports film filters. No slow-mo hero shots till the very end. The camera stays close to Ramon's face, his shaking legs, his sweat. You feel every step because Barrena makes you live in Ramon's body. He balances 2 tones perfectly: the medical realism of MS, fatigue, depression, marital strain, and the stubborn hope of a man who refuses definitions. No villain here. The villain is biology. And you can't punch biology. So Barrena makes us root for persistence instead of punches. He also uses time jumps smartly. We see Ramon before diagnosis, then after, then during training. The contrast hits hard without melodrama. Spanish cinema at its most human. Best scene is not the Ironman finish. It's earlier, in training. Ramon has been running 90 meters daily for months. Today he wants 100. Just 10 more. Camera shots ground level, following his shoes. We hear his breathing ragged. His left leg drags. He stumbles at 92 meters. Falls on knees. Cut to his son watching from balcony. Cut to Inma turning away, can't watch. Ramon puts hands on ground. Pushes up. Leg shakes. 93. 94. He's not running anymore. He's falling forward. At 98 meters, his body locks. He crawls the last 2 meters. Silence. Then his son runs down, lays a finish line of chalk across the pavement. Here, Dad. 100 meters. No music swells yet. Just Ramon touching the chalk line with one finger. Then breaking down. Not from pain. From proof. Proof that his body lost, but he didn't. That scene destroys you because it's not cinematic. It's human. Danny Rovira as Ramon, comedian turned actor, and he disappears into this role. He trained to mimic MS gait. You see frustration in his eyes that isn't acted. When he falls, you wince. When he smiles at his son after a 5-meter walk, you melt. Physical plus emotional was masterclass. Alexandra Jimenez as Inma, she's not the supportive wife cliché. She's angry, scared, exhausted. Her fight with Ramon, I married a man, not a patient, is raw. She shows us the caregiver's side of illness. Tough, loving, real. Child actor as Hugo, doesn't overdo inspirational kid. He's just a boy who wants his dad back. His small moments, drawing a medal for Dad, running 10 meters with him, carry more weight than any speech. No big stars. Just truth. And that's why it works. Fernando Velasquez composes the score. And he's patient. Minimal piano, almost ambient. Matches Ramon's isolation. Hospital scenes have that sterile hum. Running scenes use only footsteps, breathing, traffic. No background music was you feel the effort. As Ramon trains with the group, light guitar and strings enter. Not victory music. Community music. When he finally crosses 100 meters, the score swells, but gently. Like sunrise, not fireworks. Sound design is key. The buzz in Ramon's ears during MS episodes, the thud of his dragging foot, the splash and the swim. You hear his disability. Berena makes you listen to the illness, then to the courage. The movie is not a sports film. It's a defiance film. It tells everyone who's been told you can't, by doctors, by family, by your own body, that can has an expiry date. It won't give you a hero who flies. It gives you a man who crawls. And somehow that's more inspiring. Danny Rovira makes you believe that courage isn't absence of fear. It's running with shaking legs anyway. Technically honest, emotionally generous, and that final shot of Ramon, Inma, and Hugo walking home, not running, just walking, says more than any medal ceremony.